The Adventure of Lop, an original short story by Joshua Blessinger, as read by Joshua Blessinger. Long ago, deep in the dark forest of Nod, there was an enchanted meadow that was home to a fluffle of bunnies. The bunnies lived peacefully for generations in their meadow, never venturing into the forest, nor would they ever have to. The meadow's enchantment provided everything they could ever need. Grass so green it seemed to glow in the morning dew, and groves of clover as sweet as candy. Never would they have to fear the ravages of the wolves in the forest so long as they never ventured from the meadow. The Fluffle was a proud bunch. Some were dark, some were light, some were fluffy, and some were sleek, but all of them had long straight ears that stood tall and strong atop their heads. All except one. Lop was born just like any of the others except for his ears. Instead of standing straight and tall, they fell long and limp to the ground. The other bunnies tried to include him when they would go frolic through the grass, and they all laughed when his ears got hung up under his feet when he ran. They laughed even harder as he skidded across the ground on his face. It wasn't long before he became so embarrassed that he stopped trying to be a bunny at all. He would just stare up at the birds, wishing he could join them as they swooped and dashed freely among the trees. No, that's impossible, he thought to himself. I can't fly like a bird. Of course, I can't really be a rabbit either. He shook his head to clear his mind and felt the air move as his ears whipped, dust flying in wisps from the ground. Or maybe... He shook his head and whipped his ears back and forth, feeling the movement of the air. But as fast as he could get them going, his feet felt just as attached to the meadow floor. He watched the birds a little longer and realized they weren't whipping their wings back and forth. They used their wings together. He started to bob his head up and down, feeling his ears slap together over his head before the long flaps of skin fell back to the ground. He did feel it this time. His feet felt a little lighter. He just needed a bit more altitude. Climbing on a big rock, he started bobbing his head up and down, flapping his ears with all his might, and drawing the attention of every bunny in the meadow. He jumped, falling flat on his face, raising a loud and roaring chorus of laughter from the others. "What is this nonsense?" His father's voice boomed above him. Lop looked in front of his nose and saw the two dark feet and up to the long straight ears and disapproving face. "I want to fly, Papa, like the birds." "We are not birds. We are rabbits. We cannot fly like them, and they can't frolic along the ground like us." "Well, I can't frolic like you either. I may not be a bird, but I'm not a rabbit either, Papa." "More nonsense. You're just as much a rabbit as I am," his father said. "We just have to find a way to get those ears out of your way." Papa looked around and picked a long dandelion stem, then tied Lop's ears back with it. "There, now you should be able to run like the others." Lop tried. He couldn't run as fast with his ears held so tight, but he could run. He could jump, and he was a bunny. He would spend each morning finding a new stem to pick and have it tied around his ears. Afterward, he would have breakfast among the clover, and then it was all frolic all day. One morning, he was assigned to watch the newborns. 1, 2, 3, 400. 1, 2, 399. One of them was missing. He ran and searched fervently, through the warren, around the meadow. But the missing youngling wasn't in the meadow. Then he saw him, munching on a dandelion stem just outside the meadow's glow, and approaching from the shadows, the large shape of a massive beast. Lop took off running. sprinting toward the lost and misguided young bunny. The wolf started to lunge for his quarry just as Lop's dandelion stem slipped free and his ears fell loose, tangling in his feet. For the first time, Lop felt himself flying, the air whizzing past him as he flew, straight at the monster's head. "Run, little one!" he yelled just as he kicked hard with both of his back legs, catching the wolf in the eye. Lop fell to the ground and heard growling. 3 more wolves had come in from the sides, and they all circled around him, snarling. He darted between 2 of them and took off running, dodging around trees, tripping on his ears and rolling. He looked up at a large rock standing at least 20 feet from the forest floor. He jumped at a tree, and then to a smaller rock. Eventually, he found himself atop the monolith, with 4 hungry wolves circling around him, with all 7 eyes watching their would-be snack. There was only one thing left that he could do. All the bunnies in the meadow turned to look at him standing on the rock. They watched him start bobbing his head. They watched his ears flapping up and down. They watched him jump. Lop felt the rush of air and saw the gaping maw of a wolf standing below him. The teeth getting closer and closer. Just when he expected to feel the tearing and stabbing, he felt nothing. Just the rush of air around him. He looped and swirled, dodged and flitted through the air. Just to tease them, he turned back toward the wolves. Swooping and diving, he wondered why they weren't paying attention to him and watching. Then he saw it, the lop-eared bunny they were devouring just as the world grew brighter than ever, and it was no more.